welcome you to the commemoration of the almost end of the construction of the Sheppard Square redevelopment project. We're completing the rental phase, which includes 287 rental units, started in March of 2012, and we're a bit ahead of schedule. We also have 23 home ownership units that will be coming out of the ground next year, and the completion of the original and historic Presbyterian Community Center, which will include not only a large amount of community space, but 32 one and two bedroom apartments for seniors and veterans. So that's what's been going on. I'd like to recognize our chairman, Mr. Manfred Reid, and of course, ask our mayor, Fischer, to come forward and talk a little more about Sheppard Square.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out. This is a tremendous example of community revitalization for our city, not just the housing stock, but also some of our residents have participated in the construction of the revitalized Sheppard Square through some programs that have added new skills into the community. When you also think about some of the statements that have been made with this construction about environmental sustainability, there's some of the leading construction in our city about that. Also, the smoke-free aspect of that speaks to the personal health of our citizens, and that was really demanded by the residents here of Sheppard Square as well. So we love to see historic areas of our city go through this type of revitalization for mixed use and mixed income. And as you can see, the work product is great. The citizen response has been fantastic as well. And it's just another great job by the Housing Authority with Tim Berry and our chairman as well. So couldn't be more excited about it. Mr. Chairman?
Thank you. We want to welcome everybody, and we want to exhibit to the entire community the improvements, the growth and development that we have coming forth here. In our city, we're going to have to replace our housing stock. This is the first model of what we can do in neighborhoods. Our next task will be the Russell neighborhood. And that task will go on for quite some time. We got a few more years of planning, but we intend to provide this type of development in this community in the coming years. We want everybody to be aware of it and extend our appreciation to the community for their tolerance. Thank you.
When you think about the big picture of what's happening in the community right now, you're seeing great redevelopment in the downtown core. And of course, then you're seeing it all move east through downtown, Liberty Green, Waterfront Park, Nulu, the University Health System with the hospitals. Now jump over Broadway here. You see Germantown, Paristown, Shelby Park all revitalizing as well. You know, that goes into Phoenix Hill, goes into Highlands, et cetera. So you're seeing this kind of swath of really mixed use, mixed income development happening throughout the community. Then as Chairman Reid just talked about as well, we're jumping 9th Street with the Choice Neighborhood Planning Grant for Beecher and Russell as well. So you're just seeing great development kind of radiate out from the city core.
Mayor, how long of a process is it to get everything up to where you want it?
Well, I wanted it yesterday. But you can see like a project like this is basically, hey Tim, this has been about a 4-year process, right? So in terms of, government, well, even any kind of private sector development, for a project of this scope, for this to happen in 4 years has been pretty phenomenal. The financing partnership to get this together from the federal level, the local, state level, and private developers has happened very quickly as well. And you can see it's really revitalized this area. So you're seeing a lot. When you see this kind of public investment, then you start seeing the private investors come in and start developing in the adjacent areas as well. That leads to this kind of virtuous development that I just went through there. So this is a great example of having like a pocket with a new significant investment, and from that pocket radiates out other investment.
Mayor, in 2014 there were 56 over-income families living in Louisville public housing. The number's down to 39, but these are still a lot of families that are making too much money living in public housing. Do you have any concerns about that?
I know it's a super small percentage and one that people need to fit within the guidelines, but for more details on that, Tim, if you'd come up and handle that question, please.
Yeah, as the mayor said, it's a very, very small percentage. And let me give you a little history about public housing. Public housing was mixed income when it first started. And there has been this bit of a consternation at the federal level about having over-income people in public housing nationwide. We have 39 out of 3,400 that are a bit over income, some as close as $1,000. And we're looking at revising that over income policy, but we've put that on hold because there's an amendment that has been offered to the House Appropriations Bill for the Department of Housing and Urban Development that establishes by congressional mandate a certain threshold of over income threshold, and we're going to postpone whatever action we take until we see where that lands.
Tim, this is another delay for any changes. You guys were working on some changes,
Uh-huh.
and then you put that on hold to
Yep.
see what HUD was going to do. Then they asked you to do something. You started this plan. You had it all ready to go to get approved today. And now it gets pulled back again. To the delays and the people who are upset that there's possible waste of taxpayer money, what do you say to them?
Well, because if Congress mandates that we set a certain threshold, that's something we have to follow. The worst thing you can do is for the 39 people, and let me emphasize, there's 10 of them that are within $1,000. If you go ahead and move to have them vacate their units and then HUD changes the rules, what have you done to them? I mean, you disrupted their entire lives. So we're going to take our walking orders and our direction from the U.S. Congress.
But I guess what I'm saying is, has this process taken too long?
No, it has not. No, it has not. There's never been a requirement on the public housing side to have people vacate who are over income, because the message has always been we want a mixed income community because it benefits the residents who live in that community, and this is the best example of mixed income. Not only this one, but Liberty Green and Park Duval, they're all mixed income. So you have low income families, you have moderate income families, and market rate families. So that's something that HUD has promoted for years, and we have used here successfully at our Hope 6 projects.
Mayor, one last question for you. There are 3,500 families on the waiting list right now, families who presumably need this housing, qualify for it, and can't get it, can't get into it. And some of them can't get into it because there are families who make too much, taking up their spots. What do you say to those 3,500 families on the waiting list?
Well, I know you're smart enough to be able to do the math and focus that 99% of the residents are eligible, and then Tim just talked about the other 10. So, there's always going to be outliers in any kind of system that big, and we'll follow the federal rules obviously on that, and we're really appreciative of HUD's participation in this, by the way. I think from a bigger picture standpoint, you're aware of the investment that we've made with this budget year. It's a $12 million investment for increasing affordable housing stock in the community, and it's the first time the city's ever done anything like that in decades. So there is an affordable housing shortage throughout the entire country. What we're doing here in Louisville is funding it with this $12 million block that then we hope to replenish year after year so we can continue to have new affordable housing in the community. But when you take a look at what people need in terms of being able to live close to their jobs or have public transportation as well, those are critical issues. And like any city, we're going to continue to work on those.
You guys ready for the tour?
Where do things stand? This back to positive in your guys' eyes. Where do things stand with Beecher Terrace? Because I know there were some plans to do this over there, and there was some Hope 6 money at one point allocated to Beecher Terrace.
Well, it's not Hope 6, it's Choice. That is a successor program to Hope 6, and that's a 2-year planning process. It's underway now. We're looking to submit an application for actual implementation funds probably in the fall of 2016, depending on when the federal government issues the notice of funding availability. So Choice is a much bigger project, and also a longer process. What we received from the federal government was money, and also from Metro Louisville, money to do a 2-year planning process. So that's what's underway now.
You want to talk a little bit about those meetings that have taken place?
Oh yeah, we've had numerous meetings, and we'll have many, many more during the course of this planning process. We have 4 task forces that have been established that are chaired by members of the community and people who are involved in the housing business, and the participation, although it started off slowly, has picked up considerably. We had a meeting this Saturday and we had 40 people there on a beautiful Saturday morning, and I think that's representative of the fact that the people in Russell are interested in what might happen and look forward to the opportunity of get this money and redevelop Russell. It includes more than Beecher Terrace. And this is very, very important that you understand this, that it's beyond Beecher Terrace. Hope 6 was primarily focused on the public housing sites. Choice includes not only Beecher Terrace, but all of Russell. That's 940 acres. So it's a big undertaking.
We're gonna take a little walking tour. So I believe, is that right, Tim? Come on.
So we've got some units that are move-in ready over there we want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, who wants to describe this apartment? Kev, you want to do it?
Well, certainly we have a duplex building. Of course, we have a variety of building types out here, duplex, single-family, multi-family. Most all of them are two-story. With construction carpet, we use a lot of higher-end products in these developments just so that the folks feel more at home than they might otherwise do with what we've seen in previous traditional public housing.
Nice view. I love the street. I love the streetscape. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Especially when you walk out I mean, it looks like a neighborhood.
Right.
Mayor, Ali used to train here occasionally, or box, and we pulled a ring post and ring bell out of here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We got it stored back at the Housing Authority. So there'll be 32 units in here, 1 and 2 bedrooms for seniors and veterans. And we'll have a lot of community space. We've already offered some of that space to Randy and the Neighborhood Association free of charge, so they have a place to hang their hat. It's a neat old building.
Oh yeah.
A lot of history.
This has been a Metro TV production, a public service of Louisville Metro government.